Oh, cool.
hello
Sweet. And I
people.
got a gummy in my mouth.
Hello.
Yo, Morris. Grace.
I got a gummy.
You got a gummy.
Would you mind linking me to the stream, by the way?
Oh yeah, definitely. Let
Okay.
me just send you a link. Paste.
Okay.
There we go.
Also, I have another sample if you want to show too, or I would prefer the first one, but if you want to send, or if you want to
I
show
will only
two, then
do
I'm fine
one.
with both. Okay.
So we'll only do one.
I'm doing my hip exercises.
Okay, so we are back. And as you can see, we've got another Utao in the work.
Sweet.
Yes.
Wink wonk, wink wonk.
Okay, so first off, we're going to listen to this sample.
If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back. If I
That was really pretty, actually. It's such a good voice.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So, I'm going to reveal some artsy startsy for you. So, this is the art. Whoa, so pretty. Now we've got 3. And he is named Z.
Ooh.
Woo, clap, 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 clap.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
Everyone sounds so dead in this stream. It's hilarious. Alright. So, we've also got a little prologue we're going to do as well, since we're doing this really quick, so that way you guys can get like a short little update on what we're doing. I've also got a page of the comic in the works, which is almost done, and then that will be possibly posted by the end of this week. Okay, so this is the prologue. Get your popcorn ready, guys. Alright, so prologue. Chimes and bells of machines that sheep pull the levers, hopeful dead look pan across the room, all the coins are stolen from them. Money loses, money never gained. That's the nature of this casino. Above on the top floor, a young male looks over his patrons. His reddish-brown hair moves slightly with the overhead fans. Gazed over look adorns his face as he gazes down at his watch.
It is time.
His thoughts pronounce as his feet autonomously move backwards into a small little booth filled with electronic mixers. The young male sits down on a black bar stool, his fingers placing down on a button. In a loud, booming voice, he speaks.
Welcome to the Crystal Palace, where all your dreams come alive.
Heads from the machine floor look up, dreary at the sound.
Today we have a very delightful show with 2 of our showstoppers.
Continuing his words, a curtain opens up, revealing a screen. A magical journey awaits you from lands afar. In bright pink neon lettering appears.
Take a chance to dare to join us inside our lovely theater. This will be one show you will not want to miss.
Taking his finger off the button, he places a finger on his neck, clicking a hidden button.
X, Y, you're up.
He grunts, standing up, walking over to a hidden door. The hidden door creaks open as he walks inside. Behind a lavish stage rests a corridor filled with portraits and gear used for shows. A voice speaking melody could be heard from the dressing room corridor to the left. Behind the dressing room door, songs lyrics could be heard. Why don't you do right like some other men do? The voice, with a pinch of sugar and a hint of salt, rings in melodic tone. A small, light footsteps can be heard walking from one end of the room to the other. The sound of movement stops, and the sound of someone sitting down could be heard. A voluptuous woman sat down in front of a mirror could be seen. Purple-pink long hair cut in a side slide moves wispy as she lifts up her hand to her face, painting a color of rouge on her eyelids. Her clothes serve as a revealing cabaret stylization.
X.
X.
It's time.
It's time. Oh, sorry. I didn't know if that was my line or his.
No, it's his.
Okay.
A male announces as he walks up behind the pink-haired woman. Placing down her brush, she looks at the green-haired male behind her. The male, adorned with buttons, had a curious look to him. Upon his back was a crank that slightly moved places every second. I know. Why? I'm not ready yet. A showstopper needs to look her best. She spoke lightly in the mirror back at the green male. Y sighed, placing a hand on his hip, looking at her with an annoyed look.
X. Z is calling you onto the stage. You need to go now.
His voice was in a more authoritative tone. X groaned quickly, applying a rouge lip stain that she always wears, and stands up. X was taller than Y by a couple of feet. Her eyes scanned the room for a specific item. Grabbing her items, a top hat and a magic stick, she nods at Y.
Well, the show isn't going to start itself.
There we go. Yay! We
Yay.
did it!
Yay!
So, you've now met Z. Z is a very baritone sort of voice. So we want to kind of bring forward. So we've got a soprano, we've got an alto, and we've got a baritone. Now story arc-wise, he is the owner of the casino that they do run. So he is in charge of announcements. He's in charge of pretty much anything to do with the running of the place. I mean, he can't get out of the place in general. The way that they're tied in together will be told throughout the story, and definitely wanting to just tell you guys a bit more about it. And hello there, guys.
Hello.
Basically, this is just a quick stream. We want to show you a couple of things.
Howdly doodly.
Now, where
Ooh, a
is
gummy
it?
drop.
Can you stop with the gummy drops? Seriously. Alright, I'm just gonna drag
sorry.
this photo. If I can find it.
I think he complements the other two really well.
Oh, he definitely does. Alright, so...
I like how his hair is like similar to X, but not really.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, this is the sort of area. Let me just like drag this up. So this is the main floor, which in the story so far, this is the main floor. And he's just up here. So basically, this is where all the poker machines are and all that. Then of course you've got our stage, which is down below. Then you've got our dressing room sort of area, the corridors, mirrors, and this is pretty much the work in progress of the page, 2 pages, but this will complement the exact story. So for every chapter of the story that's written, there is 2 pages to go along with it that kind of like show you a more visual aspect of it. But yes, so we do hope that you guys enjoy it. There'll be more updates coming up. We just thought, we'd show you something cool that's just happened. But I do want you guys to meet Z, who is our new character. And our vocalist is in the chat right now with us. Say hello.
Hello.
Is there anything you want to say about Z?
I love him, and yeah. I can't wait to voice him. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's always good. But yeah, so we've now got 3 in our little troop. Now, from what with Z, he'll be a later release. So if we
Yeah.
can get him done on time, we can. But we're going to try and stage him as a secondary release. So he'll get released afterwards. So he won't be with the other 2 in the package. Because they'll be the first voice banks to go out. We might be able to, depending on recording. But there's
Yeah.
some problems with that. Okay, so he'll be using a custom VCCV. It has a special bank list, which has got a couple extra things like trilling R's, trilling L's, and some things that have been removed.
Yeah.
So I'm just organising the bank now, like the bank recording lists now, so that way they've got it. But yes, we do hope you enjoy him.
Yes, I can't wait for him to be released. It's gonna be so good.
Oh, the fan art that I'll draw of him. Wait, what?
So, this is our 3 comprendes, our 3 awesome people. I'm just zooming in on them.
We're the 3 amigos.
Pretty much.
I need to like tap into the deeper part of my voice to voice him, I think. Oh, and I was gonna ask, will he be voice acted?
What do you mean?
Like, am I going to be recording him with my natural voice or?
Natural voice. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. Now, yes, there will be a vocal demo for you guys to listen to before his release, definitely. But he will not be released in the initial release. Probably we're looking at about a month to a month and a half later for his actual release. If we do get him out, however, before the due date, great. But we want to kind of focus on maybe trying to get him the best possible way we can. All 3 will be recorded on professional mics, so they do have a higher quality standard. So a lot of it we do have to go through and make sure that all the samples are correct. Because we don't want to give you guys something that, you guys are like, oh yeah, we want to use, but it's not great, I want to give you guys something that you guys will appreciate. But a little bit more information on the story side of things. The original song that they will be released with, he will be included in it, but at the same time he will not be released on that day. Just trying to clarify that yes, he's a thing, he will get released, it just won't be off the start. Another thing is that during the original story, the story won't just stop when they're released. The story will continue on, and we'll be pretty much making videos bi-monthly to, maybe every half year to extend the story a bit further. The comic will still continue. It will be a weekly release. The story will still continue as a weekly release until the end of the story, or we retire them pretty much, or I just get sick of drawing. But we want to kind of present them.
Even then, maybe I could take the project up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But we kind of want to also say that even though they do have a story behind them, and they are driven by story rather than their voice banks, we also want to say that you can pretty much give them any AU. Still keep to their personality traits and things like that, but they can be AU'd. We don't condone you using them in a different sort of thing, like she's a witch, who fell in love with blah blah blah, and then those 2, I don't mind, and I don't think these guys mind either at that point.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
So that's pretty much all we have to say. Is there any questions? Because we're more than happy to take questions, especially if the other voicer wants some questions.
Yeah. Just feel free to ask if you have any.
going to be so exciting over the next couple of months.
Yes, it will. I can't wait.
I regret nothing.
Morris!
I regret nothing.
Morris!
I regret
Yes, there will.
nothing.
There will be.
Oh my god, you two.
Will there not be one? I thought we discussed this.
There may be appends.
Yeah.
They have official Twitter account that each proposed provider will manage for their own Twitter accounts. We are looking into that. Well, I am definitely looking into this. Probably, most likely. Because at the end of the day, maybe having that interaction with the characters might be good for you guys to kind of get a more feel for them.
Like each one of us has like a Twitter account like for our specific character, and
Yeah.
like people can ask us questions and shit, and we'll reply in character.
Yeah. I reckon that'd be cool.
And they
That'd
can
actually be
ask us
cool.
things about voice banks and stuff, like where to download their voice banks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like
So-
tips on using them, probably.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have a look at doing that closer to the date. I think for now it's just basically production work. The list is almost complete the rec list is almost complete. I'm just going over a couple of things now to make sure I have everything, and then I'm sending it off to the both of them so that way they have something to record with. My voice bank in general will be voice acted because even though like I'm a bit sassy, but I'm not as sassy as what she's gonna be, so kind of have to voice act that. But we want you guys to use them as much as you can. And hello, Echo, I see you
Yeah.
there.
And
we
they'll
got
be
some
professional
questions about
quality.
anything.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, if you got questions, go ahead and ask them. Like regarding characters, production, whatever. You can go ahead and ask away. We ain't got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. You've got plenty to hide. I almost drew on my freaking Cintiq with an actual pen. Whoopsie daisy.
That would not have been fun. That would not have been fun at all.
No, considering it's a $3,000 tablet. No, so any questions you guys might have, feel free to ask them. I'm not too sure on how long you've got left. One, don't just UST VCCV. What? Sorry, can you reiterate that? I'm not too sure. Unless you're talking about the
don't-
meme.
I honestly agree with that question. I identify as that question.
It's gay.
Yes, so as for Rip Morris,
For
Morris
their
Unite.
release.
To answer that question, more than likely I'll go on to
Oh, we have a question. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so they'll have like an actual website. If people don't already know, I own AIHI software. So basically they'll be uploaded to that. The website is down at the moment due to the fact that there's some problems with the actual domain name, which I'm trying to get sorted at the moment. So we're just trying to fix that, but they will be uploaded.
Yeah.
And they will have a email address for each individual voice actor as well. Google Works for the win. So they'll have their own
Feel free to ask
individual-
any questions. Yeah.
But you won't be able to download them before the release. That's the one thing I just want to put out there. They won't be available to download until release, because I want to make sure that the 2 banks that are coming out first are at the highest standard that I can give you, for both the banks. So that includes making sure that all the auto-ing is correct, making sure that all the samples aren't, clipping, things like that. So I want to make sure that all of that is 100% before I give that to you guys.
I can't wait to voice the VCCV.
Rip Morris.
I can't wait to voice it either.
Well, okay, so for people who don't know, for redesign. For redesign. If you're redesigning a character, try and base it off the voice bank and the voice bank provider. That's usually what I do. Like all of these guys, their actual designs are based off the actual person. So try and do that. I'll actually take a look at the thread.
Also, I think I have to go. So
Okay. Well, I'll let you go.
you guys can continue streaming, but yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.
bye.
Alright, bye-bye.
Oi. For redesigning, I'm not too sure. Like, probably less color would probably be the best option because she is very colorful. So probably less color, maybe a more sort of a regal sort of color approach. And clothes design would be changing it up a bit. It's just she. Rip. It says it's a female. Oh. Rip my life. Yeah, so for redesigns, just try and, I don't know, probably complacent on what you're actually looking at doing. I would have to see the character in question first to give you some sort of like, oh, this is what you should do, or maybe this is what you can do. Send me a message on UTA Forum, and I'll get back to you with that, so that way I can give you some more critical insight. But yeah, so back onto topic of these guys. We hope you do like them. Like, closer to the date, probably in about I'm looking at the 15th, 16th to give you guys a demo of her actual voice. Some sort of song.
Woo!
And then hopefully we can get Morris to record by that time as well. But another thing is that if you guys don't know, if they do get popular enough, we will look at recording a Japanese VCV for each individual character. So they'll have both an English and Japanese voice bank. But that's only if they get, popular enough to the point where we're like, okay, well, people actually want this. Because VCCV in itself is a lot of work. Fact is, you're recording like over 1,000 samples. So we want to try and just, give it a bit more thought than just saying, oh yeah, we're releasing this, oh yeah, we're releasing that, and then don't actually give the care that people want. I mean, for me, it's more these are guys that are going to be for my own personal use as well, for personal project. So I want to try and, keep that sort of feeling that, I'm also priding myself in these guys. So, yes.
Wee!
And Morris is just sitting there chewing on crap.
Well, I finished all my gummies.
course you did, Morris. Of course you did.
I did. I finished all my gummies. I wish I had more.
You don't need any more.
But I like gummies.
Okay. Well, for those who haven't watched through the video so far, definitely rewatch the video. There is a little bit of voice acting in there too. We're going to end the stream for today in terms of the VCCV. After this, I will be streaming myself playing Sister Location and screaming into a mic. So, yeah. So, recap real quick. There is now 3 voices. 1 baritone, 1 alto, and 1 soprano. All of them are recorded within the C3 and C4 range. The female has a very sassy sort of jazzy tone. The male is a very sassy sort of alto tone. And then the baritone is very dark, deep, and sort of, it's got a nice tone to it. They have a prologue up if you go check on the forum. They do have a prologue up, so you can read through that if you prefer not listening to us voice act. And he will be released later on than the other 2. So he'll be released about a month after. So we're going to try and keep updating you.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, it pretty much is. But I'm going to try and keep updating you guys as much as I can with this sort of thing. So this is the last update for now. We'll be doing probably another update, and we'll be doing them weekly, just to give you guys a sort of progression. So do pay attention to my Twitter, on the UTA forums and on the Vocaloid Otaku forums. Most of the stuff will get posted there. My personal Twitter is another place where you can go. But yeah, also, quickly before I leave, those who don't know, Morris and I have been working on an original with a voicer. And we do have a test as well. And hopefully we might be getting this singer to voice bank if I can convince her to. So the next original will be up on the 1st. So it's a New Year original. 2 originals in 2 weeks? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Morris, you sound so dead. Why are you so dead inside?
Because I don't have a Bara daddy.
Oh my god.
Do 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 do.
Waiting for this original to download. It's downloading so slow. Why did I have to make it so big? Oh yeah, it's AIFF. Yeah. Is there any questions you guys have relating to the voice bank? Ugh.
Character questions, production questions, any questions. We're happy to answer them.
Yeah, it'll be the same link. It'll pretty much be this exact same link. It's just changing up a bit, like changing all the stuff about it. But yeah, so it'll be posted on Twitter, or you can just stick around on here. That's another thing you can do. Yes. Oh. I'm gonna die tonight. Hey Morris, watch me have a fucking heart attack from playing that game. I'm not even joking.
You won't get a heart attack. You'll probably just like pee a heart attack.
What?
I said you won't have a heart attack. You'll probably pee a little, but you're not gonna have a heart attack.
I don't know, my heart's pretty bad. I don't know what I was thinking.
I'm not sure about X, but I know that Y, his canon age is around 18 and 17, somewhere around that range.
Her canon age, she doesn't really have one. She looks more 1820s, but her actual character doesn't actually have an age. She is a demon, so that is to be, I guess, expected.
When it comes to my character, technically, if we're gonna be like really specific, I guess you'd say that he's like 3 years old, but he's I mean, because he's not human, he's a doll, so he but he is around 18 if we're gonna be like, not that specific about it. He can do the do though. He's legally allowed to do the do. um like for Z though, I don't know. Like when I look at him, I think he's like, I see him like, probably like early 20s, maybe.
Yeah.
Does this basically make him like the father figure?
Pretty much. But then again,
We have a
his
daddy.
pretty much like the actual like who pretty much has the biggest part to joining those two is X. X has the biggest part due to the fact that she is the demon who created Y and who took the soul of Z and pretty much made him undead. So in that respect, she does have a lot of hold on both of them, but she's very lower end on the spectrum. Like, she lets them control, but if things went out of hand, she would jump in and control.
Yeah.
They're tall. He's around about 6 foot. She's 5'9", and he's 5'6". So X is 5'9", Y is 5'6", and Z is 6 foot. So kind of made them the best way I could in terms of their sizings.
I can't wait to make sweet memes with them. This game.
You know what? You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to, man. You're not allowed to. Other than that, I guess the only other thing with them is the fact that okay, so going back to their like lineage story to how they're connected.
What?
Going back to how they're connected. So we're not too sure about Z's like final story, but a synopsis of it is that she pretty much created Y in her image because she needed someone to run things for her. So he's basically a doll. So at the back of him, he has the crank. He has buttons all over him to kind of represent that he is not human. She's not human in the respect that she's a demon. She creates things, and she pretty much takes life. Z. They might get Japanese banks. We're gonna see on how like big they do get, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of work, and I understand that UTAU is a hobby, and you shouldn't really expect that sort of thing. But we are putting quite a lot of work in. So I mean, if you want, spread the word, because the more that they get retention, the more we're likely to record the Japanese voice banks.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't love you guys, it's the fact that it is a lot of work. And the current spectrum of what's being planned is also a lot of work. Because, I mean, they're getting original songs bi-monthly. They've got an original song about their story. They're getting comics, things like that. They do have a lot of stuff coming with them, so they're kind of like a package deal in that respect. I mean, obviously, you're going to have a more popular voice than someone else's voice. There's always going to be that popularity factor between the three of them, who's going to be more popular. But we want to kind of, instead of, I guess, just throwing banks out there, we want to kind of put some love and care into them. And at the end of the day, it always shows when you look at, like, what they're made with, and when you go to use them, it really does show when someone actually gives a lot of time and effort. It was like that with Marasmus. She sounded really realistic. If it's the first time you've done a voice bank, CV, so that way you get used to CV, then move to VCV, because VCV is a pain in the ass to auto. I'm telling you from experience. CV is really good if you're starting off, though.
I'm not even done with my VCV yet.
Yes. Now, the question is, who's going to be doing what? I mean, I'm sitting here making comics. I'm sitting here doing art.
Like, I'll keep, like, I will do some art as well once I get my program.
You're so looking forward to that. You
And,
keep looking at the friggin' thing. You should have just bought it online.
I
Man.
am. I already ordered it.
Yeah, but it was like $15.
No, it was like 25. So yeah.
I just bought it for one of my mates. Actually, it's $15.
It may be now, but whenever I ordered it, it was like of Amazon.
No, that's why you don't go off Amazon. You go off the Cook Paint website.
Physical version, not digital.
I don't want a physical version of an art program. I threw away like my first ever like Adobe Photoshop box. That was Adobe Photoshop 1. Oh no, 6, sorry. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. Did I throw that away? Rueno, roller coaster. Rudo. Besides the weird noises I've done.
I hope nobody I aspire to meet like sees this fucking shit and then it's just like, oh, it's that fucking weird bitch.
Oh, it's that weird bitch is what he actually just said. Don't worry, he's just breaking up. Yeah, so I guess that ends this part of the stream. Stick around if you want to, because I'm about to play Sister Location in around about 20-30 minutes. Like, I've got to set up everything for actually doing. But yeah, so I'll be back, and possibly Morris will be back to listen to me scream. But yeah, so we'll be back.
Maybe.